It's like in chess, they say good moves come from good positions. It's true. You can't find a good move from a terrible position, right? If you're sitting at home with no money, it's hard to invest in Bitcoin at $1. Doesn't matter what it goes to, right? You got to be in a good position to take advantage of things. So you've always got to be in a position where you have a good network, you have good information, you have some kind of liquid money, you have the ability to survive without that money, you can take a risk. Like, it's hard to set yourself up. I'm in a position now where I'm in the NBA. I'm an NBA player. I can never go broke again. So it doesn't matter, right? Once you're in the NBA, I can throw $1 million at something. It doesn't matter if it works or not. So for me, it doesn't make a difference. And that's why it's so much easier. They always say the first million is the hardest, and they're completely right.
Okay.
I just knew. Even when I was going to school and they're sitting there going, you're not going to get a good job if you don't get good grades. I was the one sitting there going, you're a liar. Shut up. I just knew the teacher was lying. I knew school was bullshit. I knew college was bullshit. I knew university was a lie. I always knew it was a trick and a con. I didn't truly understand things to the level I understand them now. But I had an intrinsic understanding, and I think everybody does. If you're in a gas station and it's 3 a.m. and a Lambo pulls up and a guy gets out of it, you're thinking criminal, drug dealer, gangster. Yeah. You're not thinking, he has a uni degree. Because you're not going to think that. So when you see money, people don't even associate the money they see with university. But then they go, I want to make money, so I'm going to university. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So I think everybody knows that the system and the path they lay out for you is not a path that's going to lead to where you want to be. And I didn't know what the other path was, but that intrinsic distrust for the system and that distrust for the things they wanted me to do made me search for other avenues. And then I found them, right? And if you speak to the people who are richest, if you speak to the people you know, this is for everyone at home as well. If you speak to the people you know who have the most money and go up to them and say, hey, what made you rich? None of them say school. Do any of them say school made me rich? I got an A in GCSE. Like, who gives a shit? It's bullshit, right? So it's all indoctrination. So I knew it was indoctrination. And for that reason, I was always searching. And if you're searching, you're going to find.
Yeah.
So ever since I conquered TikTok, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, it's just people, hey, it's Top G. And some people love me. Some people hate me.
Yeah.
And in certain parts of the world, that's not a big deal. In other parts of the world, I'm a bit on edge. So.
How long would you say you've been conquering TikTok for? Like, how long? Because it seems like you kind of spawned out of nowhere, almost.
I put a plan together to conquer TikTok 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I've now completed my conquest.
Yeah. So
bro, done. So I conquer TikTok faster than the nation states conquer countries, bro. 4 months, I put a plan together, boom, done. Now it's mine. I own it. Finished. Didn't spend a penny. Didn't spend a single penny on advertisements. I don't even have a TikTok account myself. Yeah. I just put a plan together. We made it happen, and it's done. There's no way to stop the rich getting richer. I've already explained this before, but I remember during COVID when they did the stimulus checks, and they passed out all this free money to everyone. $1,000 in England, they gave a lot more money, but in America, everyone got like $1,400 each, and everyone was happy about it, saying, "Oh, he's giving money to the poor." Yeah, but what do those poor people spend that money on? Amazon stock tripled because they all went to Amazon.
Yep,
so Jeff Bezos got richer, right? But the fact is that there's less companies than there are people. All those $1,400 checks amongst all those people at the bottom ended up in the hands of a few companies, and the rich got richer, and you can't stop it. Doesn't matter if those people invested their money. Doesn't matter if they bought stocks. Doesn't matter if they bought a crypto. Doesn't matter if they bought a house, whatever. The people who have the assets and have the companies and have the control are always going to end up getting control of the currency, and they're always going to be richer. So that's kind of how it works. And it's getting worse and worse. It's have-nots and have-yachts. Learn lessons unless they're learned the hard way. Yeah. I believe that unless a lesson has taught the hard way, you're not going to learn it. You can have so many near misses and people won't learn their lesson. Bro, you must know a guy who goes out there, nearly crashes his car, doesn't slow his ass down until he wrecks it. Yeah. Like, this is how people are, right? So you need that pain for the lesson to sting enough to really genuinely go inside of your mind. And it's the same with everything. It's the same with driving a car or business. Truthfully, if you want to learn a lesson about business, you're going to have to suffer at some point, right? So we always say that most people are not successful with their first companies, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I get that. The truth is there's a lot of people who make a lot of money with their first company, but they just spunk it, act an idiot, and it all blows up in their face. And that's how you get the discipline on your fourth company, that when you have $3 million in the bank, you just leave it there. And don't be done with it. So you need to go through some pain. You need to experience some negative things. You need to have to a degree some trauma to really even learn any lessons. So yeah, business studies, you're right. The book, that's not going to teach you anything about business. You need to get out there on the streets. You need to make mistakes. You need to suffer. You need to have the tax man knocking at your door. You got to deal with all that stuff so that you make sure it doesn't happen again. I really think that humans are stupid enough to only learn the hard way. That's kind of how it works. They'll sit there and go, I'll teach you how to be rich with mindset. They'll just tell you to be mindset. And you'll be like, at the end of it, you're like, all right, cool. Where's the money? I'm ready now. I'm positive, G. How do I get paid? Right? We don't do any of that. We're like, okay, here's how you get paid today. Do this. And there's people who are in there who think they're too smart to listen and they don't make any money. And then there's 16-year-olds who join humbly. I don't know shit. I trust Top G. You said make TikToks. Safe. Boom, boom. And he's buying his mama a house.
Yeah.
So like, it's all about that. A lot of people with no money are really, really arrogant. I know a lot of broke people who are very arrogant. They'll come along and go, I think that's a scam. Oh, do you, Brokey? Oh, Brokey thinks it's a scam. Oh, tell me again about how my online educational platform, the biggest in the world, which I've built when I'm flying around in my private jet. Tell me again about how I'm out here to scam you of your fucking 36 pounds. It's dumb because they're arrogant, and their arrogance is a shield for their laziness. People will shield laziness with anything. No one wants to admit they're lazy. So they'll shield it with disbelief. Ah, that's a scam. Or I don't work hard, I work smart. Bollocks. More cover. For just anything it takes to say, I don't want to work.
Do you believe in that? Work smarter, not harder?
I believe in both.
Yeah.
But there's a time when it comes to work smart. And most people are trying to do the smart work before they do the hard work. It's kind of like talent, right? You don't notice if you're talented at something until all the hard work's done.
Yep.
I could be the most talented tennis player in the world, but I don't play tennis. So if I go down the tennis court, Joe Schmo's going to smoke me. I don't get to see my talent until I've worked so hard that I'm in the top 1%, and now I'm beating them because I have some God-given gift.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You have to do the hard work first. If there's no hard work, there's no smart work. So someone's going to sit there and go, I work smart, I don't work hard, so I only have to work an hour a day. If working smart gets you a lot done in an hour a day, then you should work smart for 12 hours a day and get 12 times the work done. I am absolutely and utterly a believer in hard work. I'm a proponent of hard work. I have all this money and all I do is work. My entire life is work. This podcast is work. I'm getting in the car. I'm going to another meeting. Work. I'm going to fuck a bitch. That's work. She's going to be on my arm at the fucking Cannes at the film festival. That's more credibility. I consider it work to fuck her. That's work. I want to go to the gym so I'm in good shape. Work. It's all work. My entire life is work. And people don't want to look at life that way. They want to talk about work-life balance and being lazy and all this crap. I don't believe in any of that. I believe in if you want to win, you have to outcompete the man who's prepared to do nothing but work. It's player versus player. If you're going to sit there and go, I don't want to work more than an hour a day, well, the guy who does want to work more than an hour a day is going to beat you. And no matter how smart you are, there's always a smart dude who's doing the same smart work you are for more hours than you're doing it. That's just the nature of the game. And this is why we talk about things like passive income. Passive income's a fucking scam to me. I went to Deauville, France to fight for a world title. And I was sitting there and the promoter hadn't turned up yet. And I ordered 2 waters, 2 Perrier.
Yeah.
And they came and they were like €9 each. And I paid for them. And I said to Tristan, 20 quid for fucking water. Because we're brokies. We're just like, and he's like, yeah, that's crazy. And we look around and there's all these tables just with water, champagne, food, you know, like $1,000 lunches, 1,000-pound lunches. No one gave a shit, right? And we're sitting there going, where are we going wrong with life? Like, we're worried about the price of water. That dude's got a lobster. He's got like a big bottle of champagne. He's got 3 chicks. Like, we're going wrong. So I always knew there was outside of the matrix. There were these people who were living in a way that money didn't have any significance. Money wasn't real to them. So I always knew it. I was always around it, especially through fighting. I went to a bunch of crazy countries, Kazakhstan, and all these places. We're in Kazakhstan, a poor country. It's just G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon. I'm like, what's going on? Like, there are people who are living outside the matrix. And once you live outside of it, once you get to a certain level of incomes and wealth, everything becomes free. Like when I was looking at the price of that water, no one else in that restaurant even looked at the price of anything. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm like now. I don't know the price of anything I eat or buy. If it's not a house or a car, even most supercars, G, I don't even know. If I want the new Maserati, the MC20, the Spider, I'm just going to text my boy, yeah, fully spec, every option. And it's going to come out the bank and I ain't going to notice. Like, it doesn't make a difference. If I have 11.8 million or 11.4 million, biggest mistake you can make as a man is trying to start business with your wife or some shit. That's a headache.
Why is that?
Bro, I don't know who I'm going to offend or upset now, but this is how it goes. Because now you got 2 different battles you got the relationship you're trying to be in control of, and I got to deal with the business as well. Now it's different if you run the business and you hire her and she does a little bit of admin. Cool, that's fine. But I'm talking about, let's say
50-50 business partners.
Yeah, let's say your chick goes, I want to open a beauty salon, and you pay for her to open a beauty salon. And now this beauty salon, you've put $1 million of your money in it, and it's not open on a Thursday. You're like, why isn't it open on Thursdays? Oh, I had a headache. What do you mean you had a headache, bro? I just spent $1 million. Yeah, but Claire's sick and I have a headache. And now you got the relationship. It's all messed up. This bitch is lazy. She thought it'd be like Sex in the City episode where she just drinks lattes and makes money. And she realized she had to actually do shit. You know what I mean? And it's all getting messy there. Whereas when you're with your boys and let's say you invest $1 million in something, it's not open on Thursday. You can go to his house and say, what the fuck's wrong with you? Don't be a bitch. You're a man. Yeah. You could just say, look, we need to open. You can't do that with chicks. It's hard. So even now, I've got 45 people who work for me and not a single one is a female. Not one.
This episode is brought to you by Cinemas. If you don't already know about Cinemas, they have the...
This is the thing. I mean, there are women out there who say they need to get the bag and all this crap. I think it's a very masculine mindset for a female to have. Women don't really need money, not to the extent a man needs money. I mean, I understand they need to live and they say it's expensive to get their nails done, blah, blah, blah. But they don't need a nice car. They don't need a nice place to even live. They don't need to pay for bottle bills or table spends or none of these things. They don't need any of that if they're attractive. So being attractive in and of itself is a currency. I don't know if this idea of ugly even then is warped because let's say a girl, right, goes to the gym every day. Her body is banging. Her hair is long and it's nice and it's maintained. Her nails are done. She's got a nice manicure. She's got sunglasses on. She's dressed up nice. She's got a little dress on. She's got heels on. She's walking down the street. It's hard to be ugly. Do you know what I mean? Like you might only be a 6. But you're all right. Like, dudes still want you.
Still bangable.
You're still, do you know what I'm saying? It's very hard as a chick to become unbangable if you're trying your best.
Unless you fully give up.
Unless you give up. So I think the path because we have to not conflate and confuse issues here. What we're actually talking about is status. We're not talking about money. We're talking about status. Men want money because we want to be high status males. Females want to be high status females. They don't need money to do that. They can do that purely through their aesthetics. So if I was a woman, thank God I'm not, because I think that'd be a terrible existence. But if I was a woman, I would understand, okay, I want to be the highest status female I can. I need to look good. I need to look gorgeous and get a banging Instagram profile. I'm a high status now. Now billionaires want to talk to me. For a billionaire to want to talk to us, we need money.
It's like the whole Dubai porta party situation.
Bruv, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a billionaire's boat, the chicks who get on that boat don't have to be anything other than pretty. That is it. For us to get on that boat, we have to be connected, important, rich, interesting. We got to know people. We got to network. It's hard. So what I'm saying is if you're looking for status, whether as a male or a female, there's different paths. I don't think a rich female is a high status female. If you were to take a woman who's unattractive, but she had a bunch of money, no one's going to look at her and go, wow. No one's going to give a shit. I don't care. It's busted. I'm not interested. Give me the 19-year-old brokey with the big titties. That's the one I want to talk to. So women can access money and women can access high status men via their aesthetics. So I think that's a much more intelligent way for a female to increase her status. Now I know this is going to upset everyone. People are going to be sitting there going, you're saying women are only good for how they look, blah, blah, all this other crap. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that women are judged instantly on how they look. Just like men are judged instantly on our status, how rich we are, the car we turn up in, the table we're sitting at.
Yep.
That's the real world. Now, maybe you have more than just some big tits. Maybe you're also a nice person. It's unlikely, but maybe you are. But we're just talking about status games here, right?
Yeah.
So any woman who's dedicating herself to hustling instead of dedicating herself to the gym is making a mistake.
You think, yeah?
100. Why? Just get rich man. Get hot and get rich dude. Like, why? And they go, oh, yeah, but maybe he leaves you. He won't leave you unless you fuck it up. Just be quiet. It'll be fine.
So you noticed this, and transitioning it on, you started a webcam business, right?
Yeah, so my first ever business, and people have the really wrong impression of this, but I've explained it a lot of times on the internet and a bunch of other podcasts, so I won't give the really long story. But the first ever business I made a lot of money with was a webcam company. So how that company started, I've told the story. It was a really long story, but basically it's like the old chat lines. Used to have people on the phones and guys used to call them up and speak to the chicks. That kind of modernized and changed to have webcams, including video. So I identified this and I knew some girls who wanted to make some money. So I was like, look, instead of working in Starbucks or doing this other admin crap, come do this. I'll pay you triple. And then we started that. And that grew into quite a big enterprise. Yeah, across 6 months, I went from one girl up to about 10 or 11 girls. And we started doing $300,000 or $400,000 a month through these online websites that had guys sitting there talking to girls. Now, I want to make this clear. The way I became so successful in that business was because of all the business lessons I had learned from other businesses I'd tried before, right? If I had not tried a bunch of other businesses and some made money, some didn't make money, etc., I don't think I would have been nearly as successful. I approached it very much like a business. I was not thirsty. I wasn't trying to sleep with the chicks. I wasn't trying to be Dan Bilzerian. None of that kind of crap. It was very, very much a company. It was a business. It was super professional. It was handled in a very professional way. And I applied all the business lessons that I learned in my endeavors of the past. And we managed to make a whole bunch of money. The problem with a business like that is that there's a link in the chain, which is broken. Not broken. There's a link in the chain, which is always weak. Because you have me and you have the money, and there's something in the middle which is unpredictable, and that's females. Got a bunch of women in the middle.
Here's what I wanted
Makes
to
it
ask.
hard.
Here's what I wanted to ask about it though, yeah?